everyone, and welcome back to the Amateur Baker, and welcome to day 26 of Baker Day in February. Today we're going to be making cheese scones. There is the age-old debate of how you pronounce that word. Is it scones or is it scones? I have never been very good at making scones. My auntie is actually a lot better at making scones than I am. She makes amazing cheese scones. But I thought, you know, this is the month for challenging myself. This is the month for trying for new things. So we're going to attempt to make cheese scones. I'm following the recipe that's in the B-Row book on page 9. This is what they should look like. Mine probably won't. I have actually followed this recipe before when I was in food tech in secondary school, and the taste was alright, but they really didn't look like that in the book. So that's what we're going to aim for today. Let's get going. First step, preheat the oven to fan 200 degrees, conventional 220, gas 7, grease a baking tray. So my oven is preheating. I have a baking tray just next to me. I haven't actually greased it, I've just put greaseproof paper down because I don't really want to be greasing up a baking tray, I don't like it. So that is next to me. It then says mix flour and seasonings and rub in fat. So in this bowl here I have 175 grams of self-raising flour and a pinch of salt and pepper. So I'm just going to pop that, I can't even see. Definitely shouldn't have done it at that height, but here we are. Okay, and rub in fat. So next to me here, this is probably going to be a little bit too hard, but it is what it is. I have 25 grams of butter. It'll probably be a lot easier. Oh, my hands are warm actually, it might be fine. It might be easier to cube the butter. I'm actually going to take my ring off for this because it will be easier to do this with your hands. I'm going to change the camera angle and we're going to get rubbing. It's not a good phrase, is it? Just going to start by trying to break up the butter a little bit. Oh, my hands are actually quite warm. The easiest way I find to do this is this sort of motion where you pick up little bits, rub it between your fingers. It really incorporates everything into the butter and breaks it down, and you almost get like a breadcrumb consistency at the end of it. It is rather messy, so be prepared for that. You want the consistency of like really dry sand is the only way that I can sort of explain it. Once you've got it to that consistency, you need to stir in the cheese. The recipe just says 75 grams of cheese grated. So I've got here a mixture of medium cheddar and red Leicester because they are the cheeses that I most eat. I have actually got a little bit over 75 grams, I think it was just over 80, because you do actually need to reserve some to go on the top of them as well. So I'm just going to put in the majority of the cheese. I would leave probably about that much to go on the top. What I'm going to do now actually is get out the frame again, is go wash my hands, and then I'm going to go over to the wooden spoon to give it a stir, and then we've got to mix in the rest of the ingredients as well. So bear with me. So with my wooden spoon, I'm just going to give that a really quick stir, just to sort of evenly distribute that cheese between the flour mixture. And then it says mix to a soft dough with the egg and milk, reserving a little for glazing. So I'm going to point you down again, and I'm going to get my other bowl out and mix together 1 medium egg. It doesn't actually specify in the recipe if it's a medium or a large, so go mad, add medium ones, and 3 tablespoons of milk. What I am going to do is mix it sort of a little at a time, because we want it to go into a dough. I don't want it to be too wet. to go back in with my hands to see if I can make it form, because with the spoon I'm just sort of stirring it round, but I need it to actually bind and clump together. So I'm going to go back in with my hands and see if I can get this to form into an actual dough. That's actually looking a lot better, but what I'm going to do is turn it out of the bowl onto this chopping board that I have, because there's these little bits in the bottom that I just can't seem to get to stick. This doesn't seem like a lot of dough, if I'm completely honest. The recipe then says roll out to around 1 inch in thickness and cut into 6 triangles. Does that look about 1 inch? Do you know what? We'll go with that. I think we can get 6 triangles out of that. I feel like they're going to be really small. With the remaining egg and milk wash, which really isn't a lot, I'm going to take my pastry brush. Oh, I definitely could have used more of this. And just... I was going to say give it a light coating, but I've gone way too heavy-handed. Then take the remaining cheese, pop that on top, and then it says to cut into 6 triangles. Normally scones are a round shape, and I'm assuming that realistically you would have a lot more dough than this and you'd be able to cut circles out of it. But not for the recipe that we're following, eh? Should I just do it into 4? I don't think there is enough mixture. I don't think there is enough dough to put it into 6, and I like decent sized scones, so there we go. Looks alright. Just gonna put it in the middle of the tray like this. It smells alright. Those go into the oven for 10 to 15 minutes until golden brown. So I'm going to go pop them in, and then I will see you in 10 to 15 minutes. So it's been about half an hour. They were in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. They're in front of me now. They smell amazing. They smell really good, and they're actually a decent size. They did puff up a little bit. They look like tiny little pizza slices. The outside looks nice and crispy. Good sound. Don't know if it's meant to sound like that, but the inside seems quite soft. So I'm going to cut one open, add my knife, my butter. They are still a little bit warm. I've left them to cool for about 5-10 minutes. This is, it's just kind of falling apart. This is the inside of it. That looks really fucking appetising. I'm excited to eat this, not gonna lie. This is gonna be my lunch. Here goes. We'll start with the little slice. That tastes exactly like a cheese scone is meant to taste. I've got to say, I nearly choke. This time round has worked so much better than the first time that I tried this recipe when I was back in secondary school. These taste so good. They're a decent size. The only thing I will say about this recipe is that it doesn't actually make enough. I've got 4 scones here. It says that it can make 6, but I don't see, if I was to then cut these in half again, I just feel like the scones would be too small, and I like decent sized scones. I'm gonna go try and stop myself from eating all of these scones in one go. That has been Baker Day in February, cheese scones. I'm very happy with that one. Like and subscribe so you can see the rest of the videos. There will be a playlist on the channel that has all of them listed, so you can just go through them. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.